Hello, friend. This is Ryan Hicks of TalkToProfit.com, and today I want to answer somebody's question about giving. And this is an important question because I think there are a lot more people coming at things from this perspective, but many do not want to admit it. And it was this: what do I do if I do not feel like giving? Can I still be blessed? Now, the question is very interesting because from just looking at people's giving habits, it's obvious that most people do not feel like giving because they don't. If they really cared about giving, they would be giving more of their income as a percentage, and they don't. So obviously most people don't, because the vast majority give very little. And depending on politics, the way they measure at least, it's even less on the far left side, like 1% of their income is given. And the far right side, it's something like 5% or something. But both of those are pretty pathetic. And so it really indicates that the vast majority, and those are averages, so obviously there's people in those categories who are giving way more, and there's people who are giving nothing. So as a whole, right, left, whatever, people are not giving very much of their income, if any, to other people to help. They may be giving their time, perhaps, but they're just not doing much giving. And probably if they're not giving much money, they're probably not giving their time either. And those people who are giving a lot of themselves, including their time, probably are making that average higher than it really would be normally, because most people just aren't doing a lot. So this is something that most people are thinking, they're just not being honest about it. Now, some of it can be because you see, it appears like, especially in civilized countries, that the government takes care of people. So why do I need to give? The government will take care of them with whatever social programs there are. So what do I need to do? Well, the government's never supposed to be a replacement for your generosity and your being a blessing to other people. So that's a flawed line of thinking completely. And what you can do compared to what the government can do, all the government can do is throw money at people, not their money anyway, because it's attained from the taxpayers and citizenry. But they really can't do a whole lot, and they don't care to do a whole lot. But if you're doing it from your own heart, pure of love, then you will actually do more. So you can help somebody who's poor get back up on their feet, not by just throwing money at them, but getting them in their business and getting them going to where they can accomplish great things, not being stuck dependent upon someone to give them some more, but you can actually help them build them up. And what happens is many people see, besides the government charity or social safety nets, if they've had any kind of endeavors in helping the homeless or people in need, they've seen so much, I don't know how you'd word it, but I guess vanity and uselessness, where I'll give you the example of a food bank I know, and the people would line up 12 hours before it opened up each weekend, and they'd be packed in a car because the more people per car, the more food they'd be given. And there'd be, for 12 hours of sitting there, they're smoking and drinking. Now, this isn't a judgment on whatever they're doing, but the fact is, you have at least 4 individuals, adults, who could be working that 12 hours. And let's say they couldn't. Let's say, oh, there's no jobs available. They never could. Well, they have some money somehow to be able to smoke and drink. So those habits alone, per individual, amount to hundreds of dollars a month wasted. So literally, they could buy their own food. They don't need to be there for a single second taking food that could have went to someone else, because food banks are always overtaxed. And so what they have to do if there's too many people is they give each person less. So people see that and they think, well, I'm just giving to people who are going to drink and drug themselves away, and I'm just wasting my money because they're not going to do anything and make any changes in their lives. Well, that could be true for some people. But I would say that it doesn't matter what they're going to do. Yes, of course, if you're there directly, you need to help those people get into a better position in life to make changes so they're not following in these vices that is stripping their money away from them to where they can't even afford to eat. But beyond that, it shouldn't be your concern to judge what they're doing with their money or not. Unless you're the one directly giving them the money, what say should you have in it? Your part in the matter is to give. Jesus said, "Give, and it shall be given unto you." If you feel like when you're giving, the money is being wasted or it's being given to people who are never going to make any changes in their life ever, it's just a complete waste of effort and time and money, then find something good to give to. And I'll guarantee you there are people everywhere who are in need, who are trying, and they're doing their best, and they're legitimately putting in effort and work and making changes in their lives, but it will take some time for them to get to a position of being able to be self-sufficient. That's all right. Help those people then. Too often people are looking for a charitable organization to give to. And while there are many great charitable organizations, if you're worried about your money being wasted or your time, if you go to volunteer, being wasted, then find an individual or a family and help them. That way you know personally where the money's going. You know personally the people being benefited. You know personally it's not going to somebody's salary in some organization somewhere. But too often it is just that people are looking for excuses. None of those things are really the issue. It's just they don't want to give. And here's the reason. It's from a poverty mentality, this lack mentality, that if I give, I'm not going to have that now. And it means giving to them means subtraction, taking away. But you need to look at giving as addition, because every time you're giving, you're going to receive multiplied more back. Because give, and it shall be given unto you. You cast your bread upon the water, and it comes back to you not many days hence. You will receive more. You will be blessed. If you give to the poor, you're lending to the Lord, and He will repay. He's not going to leave you without. But here's an important key. If you do give, God will definitely give you more as a harvest, but you have to be receptive. Too often people turn down their harvest that's coming their way. So they give, and then a few days later somebody offers them a large amount of money to do a job, and they just say, "I'll do it for free," shunning the blessing of God that's being given in their lives. You should never shun a blessing coming your way. And oftentimes, especially in poverty mentality, you're taught that because when you grow up poor, everybody's helping each other out for free because there's no money. That's all they can do. But when you're around abundant people, people of wealth and success, and of a positive mental attitude, and who are thinking prosperous thoughts, they will pay you top dollar to do the thing you do or to provide the product you provide. And you shouldn't be willing to just throw that away and give it away as if it has no value, as if your time has no value, as if you have no value. Because that is also poverty mentality thinking, to just do everything for free. That's not giving, that's throwing stuff away. Because especially when somebody's offering, it's not talking about somebody who can't pay you. Somebody who's willing to pay you, they're willing to pay you a high amount, and you turn it down and do it for free. But what you're really doing is you're shunning the blessing of the Lord. And my friend, you can't be blessed if you don't give. And you may say, "Well, I know this person over here, they're very wealthy. They don't give anything." Well, of course. But that's not being blessed. Because see, here's the thing. The blessing of the Lord, as Proverbs 10:22 says, it maketh rich, and, this is a very important thing, He addeth no sorrow with it. There are plenty of wealthy people, and their lives are miserable. They're overweight, they're sick, they're divorced, there are all kinds of issues. Every area of their lives is some sort of disaster, except for finances. That's the one thing they're somehow thriving in. But see, they don't have the blessing in their lives. They don't have the blessing of the Lord in their lives. Because they had the blessing of the Lord, they would not only be rich, but He would add no sorrow with it. They wouldn't have all that other stuff that's going along with it. So no, you can't be someone who's just hoarding stuff up greedily, not giving, and be blessed. You might be able to become rich, but you won't be blessed. And every other area of your life is going to be a disaster, and you won't be able to spend all your money to make it right. So I want to encourage you, get personally involved in helping others. Too often, if you're throwing your money at charity, you don't see where it's going, you don't see what's going on, or you do and you think it's bad and it's a waste of money and time, So find an individual. I guarantee if you look, you'll find. There are people out there who are in need, and you can bless them, not to keep them in need, not so they're dependent upon you, but you can bless them so they can rise up and grow, and as they get better and better, they're going to get on that prosperous path that you're on. My friend, I pray this is a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.